All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, Bashem Rachakorash, the honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Akim, Wakwathim, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. And I happened to come across this video on YouTube doing some scrolling, and I'm be taking a page out of the brother Karataza from our camp, his YouTube channel, Gad's son, on how he does his videos. I'm gonna be playing this clip, and I'm gonna be pausing it and pulling scriptures and speaking on it. But hey, this little video is gonna show you how mentally backwards that Esau, the so-called white man, is. This world is literally flipped upside down. We're actually living in the Twilight Zone. If this is the closest thing that this modern day society is, the Twilight Zone, because Esau, the so-called white man, he's completely irregular. All right, and you're gonna see, if you haven't read the title already, it says dog with terminal cancer has a bucket list and gets married. The so-called white man cares more about his golden retriever than he cares about the earth, than he cares about the rest of humanity. All right, he'll poison waters, he'll go to war and drop bombs on people, he'll set up institutions created to spread lies about certain groups of people to make them seem a certain way. All right, but he's not gonna let his dog go without a biscuit. All right, so I'm gonna let it play.
Easy to say goodbye to beloved family pets, but one man is giving his best friend the send-off of a lifetime. Better break out the Kleenex for this one. 12 weeks ago, Mr. Molson's days got a lot more exciting.
He's always there for people, so this gives us a chance for everybody to come back out for him.
Tim Griffin created a bucket list for his 12-year-old dog, Molson, after he was diagnosed with cancer and given only months to live.
Everybody was sad.
So basically, this edomites dog, catches cancer. It's unfortunate for the dog. That's about it. But as you could have seen from the pictures, that dog got to go on trips, got to go jet setting. It looked like I was sitting in the airplane. Looked like he's sitting in one of the military vehicles. Esau, the so-called white man, when his dog gets sick, he's gonna make sure he gets the bucket list. Get to go visit the Playboy Mansion, skydiving. All right, get to go slide down the other side of the rainbow to find the lucky leprechaun. But Esau, the so-called white man, he doesn't care about anything that he's doing in this world. This dog gets to get all those amenities. What about all the homeless here in America, living down in California? What about all the thousands of homeless setting up tent cities in all the cities throughout America? What about, because winter just passed, what about all those homeless people who just froze to death and caught severe cases of frostbite when we had those two severe, extreme weeks of winter? What about all the homeless and orphan children? How about all the war victims of America in the Middle East? People who were sleeping in their house, and then the next instant they hear an explosion and there's nothing. All they see is rubble and dust. They don't even get to see their family members. All they see is crushed white brick. This is why we call you, Esau, the so-called white man, the devil. You're illogical. You're crazy. You're an animal. All right, so let it keep going.
And partially with the kids also, I wanted to try to take it as
they treating them like, oh man,
opportunity to be less negative about it. It's been 12 weeks since the surgery, and in those 12 weeks, we've had a lot of fun.
You get to go be a firefighter.
Our friends from all over York County have joined in on giving Molson the best final days possible, from being an honorary firefighter.
And to you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this should let you know how little the so-called white man cares about you. Here it is, the so-called Native Americans had their entire land ravaged, a certain group of them were forced to walk a trail of tears, and then walking from one edge of the United States over to the other in midwinter. All right. Completely displaced and set to reservations, and are still discriminated against to this day. But if a so-called white man's dog happens to sneeze, they gonna make sure they catch all the snot in individual napkins before it can even hit the floor. All right, you so-called Negroes too. This should show you how little they care about your slavery. All right, our slavery. This is Esau is showing you what he cares about, and it sure as hell ain't us, the Hebrew Israelites. He cares about himself and his kingdom only. He's I'm just finishing.
A lot of people were there from Molson. It was like one of the big bucket list things that he completed, and it was loud.
To becoming Sergeant Molson with the Pennsylvania State Police.
Not many golden retrievers, so I'm happy that he got to be one of them.
He's done more in the last 12 weeks than many of us have done in a lifetime. He's even been president.
With a unanimous vote.
Pause it. And she just said it. That dog just went and did what more. That dog in them couple weeks just went and did more than what the majority of this world population will do in their entire lifetime. Why? Because Esau has. Let me get the scriptures, man. Let me get this first. Let me get this first. This is the world we fucking live in. This is the world that we live in. You have people right now whose stomachs haven't had food inside of it for probably 2 months. Somewhere. All right, Esau. I thought you Americans were such great humanitarians. Where's PETA at? Where's Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 6. It says folly is set in great dignity and the rich sit in low place. Hey, folly is set in great dignity. All right. Bullshit. Why is that even on the news? All the things going on in the political world. You have so-called Latinos down at the border getting separated from their families, all right, getting butchered, probably getting raped too, more than likely getting raped, probably, and getting sold, getting trafficked. Meanwhile, little Fudo step on a nail and this nigga get awarded a mansion. This should be a message to you Israelites to show you how much your enemy does not care about you. All right, verse 7. I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And this is dealing with the righteous and the wicked. The righteous people, God's chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, are going as slugs about the ground while these devils are running amok and making a circus of this world. All right, and I'm going to get a little bit more of the video because there's a certain part that I want to show that I'm going to let the rest of the scriptures come out.
They elected him to be the president of International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
I think is a president of a whole union. They made a dog a president of a whole workers' labor union.
229.
While Molson's days are numbered, the Griffin family knew they had to find love for their dog, who's loved them so much. So naturally, they held a wedding, complete with a flower girl, ordained minister, and a bride, of course.
My dad had the idea that Molson would get married, and someone was willing to let him get married.
Wagging down the aisle, the pups entered into dog matrimony in front of their loved ones, giving them all an opportunity to thank Mr. Molson for his...
So I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna get scriptures now. So now dogs getting married. Dogs. This place is an absolute joke. This world is a absolute joke. So let me get Job chapter 30. All right, Job chapter 30 verse. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "But now they that are younger than I, they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock." And as you can see, because we all know, dealing with Job chapter 30, this is going into the prophecy of Esau, the so-called white man, being pushed out of cities, for all of his evil. People got tired of him, and he ran off into the caves. And what is called now the Dark Ages, when Israelite rule was going. All right, people got tired of him. But a main point being how they were despised so much, Job wouldn't even wanted any of them near his dogs because, hey, who knows? Lil Molson didn't get. Who knows? He didn't just get married to that little black lab that night. All right, who knows? His master ain't give him a parting gift as well. All right. If you can catch my drift. This is the way that Esau, the so-called white man, wants to run the world. Rather than focus on real serious problems that are going on, let's marry dogs off. Creatures that don't even have, that can't even conceptualize speech. Creatures, You know, they have emotions, they have feelings, and they can die and they feel pain, but they're not even able to understand things the same way that human beings can. And the scriptures tell you that. Yet Esau, the so-called white man, that's what he upholds. This is what's a good idea to him. Let's not fix the American debt. Let's not try to calm race relations. Let's marry Molson. Let's get Molson married. All right, jumping down to verse 4. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief. All right, so it's showing you the true nature of Esau, the so-called white man. That's why he loves animals, because at his heart, he himself is a beast. This is dealing with them living in their animalistic state. All right. When you see all them caveman drawings, oh yeah, there was cavemen. It just happened to be a certain group of people who was living that lifestyle. All right, who was picking fruits and berries out of bushes. All right, who were making noises like a horse to call each other. It says to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. So we all know, who this applies to. Well, there's only one group of people that call themselves Caucasian, which is a word derived from the Caucasus Mountains. All right, it's very well known what type of people, what clan of people, what tribes of people, when all the nations were divided their land, what groups of people decided to go live in mountains and valleys and cliffs. All right. This is why they're called base men, because this is what Esau does. This is what a group of base, low IQ people do. All right. So now let me get this as well in Daniel. And I just got a couple more and I'll be closing it out. I just saw that shit, and had I not been sitting where I was sitting when I was I wasn't on YouTube. I saw it on the news. I was just sitting somewhere getting some work done, and I happened to look up and see that on the news. And had there not been other Edomites around me, I probably would have just flipped out, because the shit's so goddamn this shit was so silly. I'm looking for Daniel. So like Daniel chapter 4, and this is a true statement. This is Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. It says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men." And right now, Esau, the so-called white man, is the basest of men, and he was set up to the top to be so the Most High, the Creator, could show his power. All right. If this is not proof that, hey, the so-called white man being in the position that he being in the position that he is in is a proof of a higher power, because no animal loving, no dog humping, rock chucking beast could get to where he's got all on his own. All right. It was all for a purpose, ultimately for their downfall in the end. All right. To be proven who the evil is in the world, and to be proven who the righteous is in the world. But this is them. This is Esau, the so-called white man, in their natural, unassisted state. They want to take Coco and Molson and climb, put them in a doggy backpack, and get as far up as the mountain as they can. All right, they're base, they're without knowledge. That's why when you look in this world, everything that should be focused on, everything that is proper and upright, everything that should be paid attention to is out of course. The women are walking, or the women in this society are whores. Esau, the so-called white man, he's allowed women to be so-called free and has allowed them to destroy themselves. The men are effeminate and soft and weak. All right, the children are bastards. All right, everyone is at each other's throats. Everyone is stressed out. This is what happens when you put a devil in power. They don't know right from wrong. All they know is evil. They wouldn't know righteousness if it slapped them in the face. And I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the scripture. If this ain't the last one, I got one more on mine. Or no, I got two more on mine. And then I'll probably close it. Isaiah 26:10. "Let favor be showed to the wicked, and the Most High has showed favor to you devils." All right, by allowing you to have your kingdom and whatnot. says, yet will he not learn righteousness? In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. So you devils, you can't do right. Here it is. You own the Holy Land, Jerusalem. Hell, you own the whole planet Earth, and you're not doing anything good with it. You're about to go destroy outer space. You're working on getting to different planets to destroy space. All right. So hey, if they're not the devil, then I don't know who else it could be. All right, I'll end it with this. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Hey, and this ultimately is why America's going to fall so hard. Esau, the so-called white man, is becoming a joke and a laughingstock. He's losing power because he's starting to revert back to his animalistic, non-controlled nature. He's losing a grip on the clutch, and the car's going too fast, and he has no idea how to make it stop, and he don't know how to direct it. All right, he's riding on a horse. He's riding on a horse, and he can't control it. All right, Esau, the so-called white man, he's losing his power and he's losing his mind all in one fell swoop through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And if this don't prove it, then I don't know what else can. This shit's crazy. This is actually fucking crazy. All the things going on in the world, and this is what they do in their spare time. All right, hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Hashem Rachakorash, double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Akim, Wakwatim, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.